Bonjour, Konbini, c'est Lipa. Je t'aime très fort.
Everybody knows. Catch me or I go Houdini.
Radical optimism to me means rolling with the punches, staying graceful when things aren't going your way. You know, sometimes we get so caught up, at least me, in like a solidified plan or an idea of something. And then it doesn't go the way that I envision it. And then I'm like, okay, so now what am I going to do, you know? And I think the whole idea behind that is being okay with changes and being okay with change overall. That's predominantly what the album is about. And I think when was the last time that I applied radical optimism? I think it was this morning when I was in traffic and I thought I wasn't going to make it in time for any of my interviews. And I just had to be like, you know what, just breathe. It's all going to be fine. It's going to work out. You're in Paris for one day. Enjoy it, you know? So I'm here. It worked out. I'm with you right now. So that's my radical optimism. It's funny because just in itself, radical optimism is I love songs that have an optimistic twist, you know, when things aren't going right. Whereas the books that I love to read are harrowing and so traumatic and upsetting and sad. I have to compensate the sad books with the happy songs. There are some amazing books just recently that we've had on our book club, which is Crying in H Mart. I mean, the title in itself tells you it's going to be sad, but it's amazing. It's this beautiful memoir written by Michelle Zorna, who's from Japanese Breakfast. She's the artist. And she just wrote this beautiful memoir after her mum passed away from cancer. And then we have Swimming in the Dark by Thomas Jodorowsky, which is an incredible book set in Poland and during the Cold War. Just these really heartwarming but sad books that I'm obsessed with, that I love to share with everyone. I think it's almost like, okay, how do I level out the two? I read something sad and then I write happy songs, you know, to combat it. It's very exciting for me to change from one era to another just because it allows me to differentiate styles, to create something new. And Future Nostalgia, having been so polished and pop, glittery in so many ways, this one is much more raw, unfiltered, and this kind of unapologetic freedom of youth and fun. Not that Future Nostalgia didn't have the fun element, that was very fun, but it's just more of a lightness to it, you know, not wanting to have a formula, you know. Initially when I chose the photographer, Tyrone Le Bon, who I felt like really captured that essence that I was trying to get with the pictures, which had this, you know, raw, unfiltered, youthful, you know, energy to it. And just working with him for, what was it, like 3-4 days that we were together, it was exactly what I'd envisioned. So he helped me with it, yeah.
Based on your last tour, which was, I think I've been like in 3 shows and it was...
Did you come to the Paris one? Oh my God.
It was
oh my God. The one in Paris, the only reason I mention it is because the heating broke, the AC, and it was on the hottest day in Paris and everyone was sweating. I mean, I looked like I'd been drowned completely.
Oh
it was like in the peak of like the hottest week in Paris.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but fun. I'm excited for the new tour. You know, what I learned on the Future Nostalgia tour doing, you know, 97 shows in 1 year. Now I'm so mentally prepped for what's to come and the show that I want to do and how high energy I want it to be.
Can't wait for the tour.
Yeah, you gotta come.
People were quick to call you like, okay, the pop star, we need it. Is it something like you accept the title of, okay, she's the ultimate pop star right now?
You know, it gives me confidence and it makes me excited. It also makes me want to be better. It makes me want to work harder. It's things like that I don't take lightly. You know, when someone says something like that, I'm like, right, well, I gotta pull my socks up and prove myself that I deserve to be here. So it's definitely appreciated, but it pushes me. It pushes me a lot. Oh, my ultimate pop stars for me were Gwen Stefani, Pink, Nelly Furtado, Britney. But then also, like, I loved artists like Sade and Alicia Keys.
Yeah, pop star is not only a genre.
Yeah, it's not just a genre. I think it's, to me, just the women that left a mark on me musically.
I gotta thank you for the first 3 singles because they deal a lot with the state of being single.
Yes.
I mean, I cannot keep a boyfriend for 2 weeks, so I was like, okay, she's speaking to me.
Something that I think is really important is when you find yourself single, don't wish it away because you do so much learning about yourself, you know, during that time. And I think we spend so much of that time trying to find someone that it's that time that you spend alone where you grow the most and you know what you need and you know who you are. And that's why I think we need songs that are the anthems to our singledom, you know, the ones that kind of say it's okay to not get it right.
You're speaking to myself. At this point, you're basically French. You know all the best spots.
I know all the restaurants.
Yes.
I know that here you have the best wine. I have a lot of friends here. I think for me, Paris has always been a big one, I guess, because one, it's so close to London, so it's very easy to come down. I have friends who are in like the food industry who have just like made my love of food even bigger. So every time I come to Paris, it's like a culinary experience, and it's just so fun to dive in and try different food and discover new wine and meet different people. And I feel like the people in the food industry are just crazy and fun, and they just love life so much. So I only have good memories here. And, you know, my tours and the fans and everyone is so passionate. I've only been met with so much hospitality and love here that, you know, I have so much reason to keep coming back.
And it's always hot at your concert.
It's boiling at my concerts, sweating in fact.
Falling Forever.
Yeah.
Like the first time we've listened to it, we were together and I was like, okay, she's crazy for that. But in a good way.
Okay, good. Overall, my voice has gotten stronger. I think if you listen to my first album and you listen to this album, you can see a massive difference just in my vocals. I think a lot of it is down to the fact that I was touring for a whole year and running and singing at the same time. Like my vocal strength just kind of surprised me. You know, it's a muscle, so the more you train it, the stronger it gets. And so when I went into the studio, I was just discovering these new ways of singing. And I really enjoyed it. So I was just naturally pushing the boundaries because I felt stronger in my vocals overall. So I did a lot more experimenting in that way.
We can sing and run at the same time?
I can sing and run at the same time. But I did, you know, it was like an hour and a half of like jumping up and down and dancing and still being able to control my voice. It takes a lot, but it's training, you know?
It's training season.
Stealth mode, training season.
I'm just going to drop all the names.